CrackBacks Combats. We're back in the building here. A couple of technical difficulties. We're up and running. 5 people on the screen now. This is the most we ever had? I think it is. I think 4 was the 4 we had most we had before.
Corey doesn't count because he's only a half.
We got the digital Wookiee up at the top. Of course, I'm your boy, Big Pedro. A couple of new people in the building. We know the old man down below the silver fox. Romo Lover number 9. You've met Mikey Atts before. He's
yo.
Fight guru.
What's
and the newest
crack-a-lack?
face in the building, KiddyKane Mike Kanefsky up on the top left hand here, at least on my screen, he's top left. Welcome to CrackBacks Combats, boys. We got fights tomorrow. Actual, real fights with people punching each other in the same ring. People fighting something other than COVID. Who are you excited about?
Blessings.
I wish it was on the beach like they advertised it. I know that shit. You know what I mean?
To that island? They're not having that island anymore?
It's on the island, but it's just not on the beach. You know, they said they were beach. They said they can't do it. And besides, they're in fucking Abu Dhabi, man. You know how hot it is?
No,
I don't want to be out there.
Can't be much hotter than South Florida right now.
Oh, dude, I'd say it's a lot hotter.
The desert.
It's fucking July, dude.
Dude,
I mean, we're right on
Miami.
the equator
it's
ourselves.
Hot as shit down here.
Yeah, but July in another part of the earth might be a different temperature.
Yeah, it's cooler.
Yeah.
It's cooler at night over there.
Maybe it's winter there.
Not in Abu Dhabi. But anyway,
Exactly.
Tomorrow. I'm the Fringe fan. Tell me why I should be excited about tomorrow. Who's gonna fight? Who's getting knocked out?
Because Cuban Jesus is fighting.
What's happening?
Mikey, Kentucky.
Yo,
Kentucky.
it is. Yeah, what's up, man?
Go ahead, take
it. Shoot, my 3. God, I'm gonna say my 3 fights, man. Is the top 3. I really don't care about the strawweight fights that they got going on. Not really big. Just there's not a lot of thunder there. Put it that way, and that's my disinterest.
Hey, what about the Mike Perry incident? Maybe we should just. Did anyone see that?
Let's get into that.
That's some fun stuff.
So you tell me what happened with Mike Perry. I don't know anything that happened with Mike Perry.
Mike Perry is a popular UFC fighter from South Florida, and he just had a nice knockout a couple weeks ago in an event. He had his girl in the corner for him.
Just her.
And supposedly this same girl and Mike Perry were at a restaurant the other night. There's video of it on the YouTubes. Joel, you can drop in a clip here and post if you'd like.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Perry was getting wild at the restaurant, so some of the locals started talking shit to him. Some old man with a bald spot tried to step to him and got knocked out clean.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then he started dropping N-bombs left and right, and that's definitely not good right now.
No. I mean, you could have left the right now off the end of that
I
thing.
think it's not good ever.
Just not good.
And then he started telling his girl to fuck off.
Yeah.
His girlfriend, who he put in the corner, so the coaching money would stay in the family. He's telling her, "Fuck you, ho! Get the fuck out of here."
Yo, he's honestly, his capability of screaming so loud for such a long time is like a serious talent. Like he does it when he gets. Sometimes they basically interview him backstage, and he's just like pumped up. He's like a WWF guy, and he's just screaming, and he's got veins popping out. He's got veins popping out everywhere. He did that. He was yelling at his girlfriend. He's like, "You go with them. No, screw you. You're going to call the cops on me." He was screaming at the whole place.
How big is this dude?
He's like 170, right?
190.
Yeah.
What does he fight at? 155 or 170?
He's a welterweight.
170.
Yeah, so he's probably 190. He's probably like a 5'9", maybe height or something
He's
like that.
wrecking pretty much anybody he meets on the street. Is what you're
Well, it was a 70-year-old man that stepped to him.
Nah, he wasn't that old. The guy.
That dude was gray, man.
Listen,
you remember on
let's
the bus?
put it this way: the guy he knocked out looked like the dad from fucking Happy Days.
Remember a few years ago, there was an old man knocked a dude out on a bus. The dude looked like Santa Claus.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that guy was.
But that guy was a Marine.
Yeah.
He was big. That guy was big
dude
and
was
in
not.
shape, and that was
This
amazing.
dude just a social justice warrior, just wanted to, step in, and get knocked
shouldn't have
out.
started talking shit to him, man. I mean, I gotta say, he started like mimicking him, like, the police. And he started like joking around with him, talking shit, and then he actually walked towards him, and there was like a little bit.
He
of
said, "I'll
this,
knock the shit out of you, old man."
And he just got snubbed.
and the guy came forward. I mean,
I mean, Kevin Hart had a joke. 12 years ago. He's like, I don't fight with people on the street because UFC fighters walk around and they look like they're normal people. We've said it on another show before. You got to look for the cauliflower in the ears. Anybody's got any sort of puffiness going on in this section right here, step the fuck off.
Yeah, leave him alone.
For sure.
You don't want that smoke at all.
Don't fuck with wrestlers.
No. Dude, especially if you don't know.
High school wrestlers are small and angry, too.
Oh, I'm talking about college wrestlers. I have some stories to tell you, boy.
We don't want to hear those stories ever again.
Why not?
I'm emotionally scarred from Sage's wrestler stories from college.
Oh, man. I think
we'll save that for another episode.
I was actually talking to my brother about
That's another episode.
No, I don't want to hear him ever again.
No, that's episode in itself, man.
I was talking to my brother about street fighting and wrestling and how some people, like, not knowing wrestling and then, like, deciding you're going to get into a fight, it's such a horrible thing to not know, because if the other guy knows how to wrestle, I would be terrified. If you didn't know how to wrestle at all and you know there's a chance that somebody may put their hands on you and you just not be able to get them off and you don't know what you're doing, and it's just such a horrible spot. Oh, yeah, it's just a horrible spot to be in.
I'll just tell one story. I used to hang out with a bunch of wrestlers in college. And
oh, God. Please, no.
Hold on. I want to hear it.
No. Fort Bragg was right down the road.
I muted Getz. Go ahead.
Okay, so all the soldiers would come down and hang out and party at our college, and they all thought they were badass. The wrestlers would whip their ass every time. Army soldiers would leave getting their ass whipped by the wrestlers.
Yeah.
They're no joke, man.
It was the same way in my college. The wrestlers would always go, because, I mean, these guys, most of the wrestlers from my college where I went to in Kentucky, I mean, they were coming from down here in South Florida. Even if it was an NAIA school, there's a lot of, man, I'm telling you, they just came up there and these people would try them, and these wrestlers would always wreck shop every time.
Great shape. There's nothing like wrestling strength. And then not only that, like, the level of, once you're in like wrestling shape, especially in college level, I mean, your cardio is ridiculous. You can freaking fight for however long, but the problem is people underestimate them too. I used to go up to Hofstra, and my brother was on the Division I wrestling team up there. Some of these guys would be like 5'5", 5'6", but they were all Americans, like top 4 sometimes in the whole country. And people would talk shit to him all the time. They don't know. They think this guy's 5'5".
Mike, Kanefsky thinks he can knock anybody out under 140 pounds.
I would say like 135 and under.
All right. All right. So he added.
Well, you keep on adding years to it. I mean, this conversation started years ago. That's where this story comes from years ago.
You hit anyone in the chin, you can definitely knock them out, but are you going to be able to hit them in the chin?
They don't even knock each other out.
That guy is so way faster than you.
Yeah, but they don't even knock each other out, man. That's so rare.
You'd be tapping out. I think you'd tap out.
Probably would. I know I can't breathe that much. I mean, they're way faster. They're freaking athletes.
How about Jeremy Stevens? What is he? He's at like 130.
He's 155.
His nickname is Little Heath.
No, he's not 55.
He's 145. He started at 155.
He used to be 55.
Which means he walks around at 160, which means
that dude could wreck shop.
He's out of the weight then.
Yeah.
He's out of the weight.
How about Cody Garbrandt?
I don't think he's that tough, man. He's got a weak chin. I know that.
Ooh.
What about
his last knockout?
He's also like 5'4". How tall is that dude?
Could you knock out?
We're talking about it. No, I don't want none of that, dude.
She's fucking knocking people out with head kicks.
Yo, she fights hard, man, and she's
got long arms.
She's the one that I like to watch. Women's MMA.
One thing, I just glanced down at his fight. Paige Van Zant fights tomorrow.
She's pretty.
She's done. She's going to be done soon. She's going to go to modeling and shit.
Only good highlight she's got was against Beck Rawlings. She had like a switch kick on her that looked awesome. That's the only big highlight I know from her.
I'd rather see her fight than the Cyborg chick who's barely a chick.
Ooh.
Oh, I'd rather watch Cyborg.
Cyborg is like, dude, so manly. She was failing tests for performance enhancing shit, I think, at one point.
Yeah, she was definitely on the roids.
Oh man, come on.
She failed the eye test.
You hear her talk? You hear her voice? Her voice is ridiculous.
And she's jacked.
Yeah.
She's got a 9-inch schlong. She's
definitely got traps, man.
That's a big bitch. But anyway, we got fights tomorrow. So let's talk about fights tomorrow. Who are you excited to watch tomorrow?
Man, I'm wanting to see Aldo win a second title, man. I really do. That's one. I think the featherweight, gosh, I mean, there's a bunch of people in the top 10 that are fresh contenders. It's all
Holloway
new people.
fighting?
He's fighting the guy to take his belt.
Holloway's got a Russian here, Alexander Volkanovski.
He's
that guy's from Australia,
right?
Yeah, he's from Australia. Used to be a rugby player, man.
You can say whatever the hell you want. Volkanovski is Russian to me.
Yeah, Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah, and he spells it like mad, like.
But they ended up in Australia.
There's like one consonant in his last name.
Yeah, but there's a lot of good people waiting. I can't wait to see how that division plays out. I mean, you got Zabit, you got Yair, you got Ortega. I mean, you got a bunch of good people, fresh faces that are like good matchups for either one of those dudes.
Right, Sugar Shane O'Malley. Is he at 135? Or?
He's not even ranked.
135.
Yeah, he's coming up though. He's going to.
I like that dude. Yeah,
long arms, very long reach. Manny Nunes has freaking long ass arms too. If you ever notice, when you watch her fight, try to take notice. She'll be standing in range for her, and the other person's like so uncomfortable, and she just starts throwing these looping shots, and she's in range, and the other person
connecting left and right.
She hits hard too, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
She's a fucking killer.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever heard any of you speak complimentary of a female fighter.
We're talking about a few.
She's the best of all time, so.
Yeah, for sure.
But, hey, Ben, I'm definitely not into the strawweight fights.
That makes one.
Rousey was entertaining for a while.
Yeah, she was hot.
She was not hot. That's not true. That's a lie.
She was tough.
She was not hot, though. She was not hot.
I mean, she's not ugly. She was hot. She's not brutal.
Like that. It looks like Mikey, like the other chick. Mike, you're a Misha Tate guy. You're not a Ronda Rousey guy.
Yeah, I would rather that. Yeah.
I was a Gina Carano guy from the jump.
So she got knocked out.
Are we still talking about her?
I love Gina Carano.
Well, she's she's on TV now, man. She's
the Mandalorian.
Yeah, she's in the fucking best Star Wars show ever.
Yep. She transferred into an acting career. Chris Cyborg will just die from a heart attack.
Gina Carano's looking kind of diesel right now.
I bet you that's what Paige Van Zandt will do. She'll try to go like TV and shit like that. They'll put her in a fucking action show where she's like a cop.
I didn't realize there were 2 women fights on tomorrow.
We talked about this last time. We
Namajunas and Andrade. Jessica Andrade. She's the one that scoop slammed Namajunas, dropped her on her head.
Oh wow! So they're
Rose is fighting. So Rose is fighting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow. I like her. They're doing that's a rematch.
Another one complimentary to a female fighter.
Yeah, I'm not with
Rose. The card seems to be getting better.
Anytime I get to see Google-eyed Pat Berry in the corner.
He's funny, that guy. Hey, listen, didn't we say last time we were talking about women fighting? We basically said we're all right on the main card with there being 1 female fight, but once it becomes 2, now we got 3 guys fighting, 3 guy matches and 2 girls. It's just 1 too many girls.
It's too much.
You know?
Yeah.
It's too much. It's almost 50-50.
Too much.
But it's a combat sport, and you want to see blood, and you want to see people get hurt. And 105 and 110 pound girl hitting against each other.
Well, that's what you're talking about. Is you're talking about it like that fierce, like ferocity and everything. They don't have it. That girl Namajunas has got mental problems where she doesn't even want to fight sometimes.
She's badass though.
Yeah, she is. I mean, but she's got a mental block to where she's probably hard on herself, and she probably scares herself,
Well,
it's very tough.
The locker room.
What's that?
They got to pull her out of the locker room. What she's half cuckoo. What's going on?
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by this.
Yeah, that's why she took a long break.
Huge mental aspect to fighting and wrestling because it's one-on-one. You're going out there, there's nobody to blame anything on but you. When you wrestle or you go one-on-one in combat sports, you're not going out there with a team where like you drop the ball, this guy did this. It's just you and them. Everyone's watching too. It's very
and the person on the other side is trying to hurt you. Like you can't underestimate that.
The nerves,
some
you gotta
people
control your nerves. It's very even one of the greatest fighters of all time, George Rush St. Pierre was telling Joe Rogan on the podcast how he hates fighting. And how, like, before the fight, he's just, like, miserable. He's just like, oh, my God. And Joe Rogan's like, really? You don't like it? And he's like, oh, my God, I fucking hate fighting. He goes, oh, my God, it's the worst. He goes, like, the nerves that you get, I mean, in the pit of your stomach, I mean, anyone that could, you basically want to win your fight and you care how it goes, you're going to get anxious. You're going to be, otherwise a lot of times they say you'll be flat. I mean, I prefer to be flat because if you're nervous, it eats away your energy, You got
to have a little bit of an edge to you. Even Rogan himself, because, Rogan was a competitive fighter. He said he knocked a couple of guys out and felt horrible after that. He actually,
he doesn't like it. There's a famous clip of him. He hits this dude with like a head kick in a Taekwondo tournament and like knocks the dude out clean. And Rogan looks like physically upset. Like, damn, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, feels bad for the guy.
Yeah.
He likes it for the sport. And
he flatlined that dude.
Yeah, getting a kick to the head's got to be a bad way to go to sleep, man. Your neck, everything's gonna hurt the next day.
That's like getting hit with a bat.
Yep.
Yeah, especially his. I mean, if you're a trained Taekwondo fighter like that, he's been kicking for 30, 40 years. His legs are like, they're like iron rods at this point. Like when Van Damme was kicking the coconut tree in kickboxing, his shins harder.
It was a great scene.
You want me to break my leg?
Exactly. That I'm telling you right now. Frank Duke. Frank Duke,
basically a palm
and
tree?
John Jones. That would be the ultimate championship right there. Whatever. I didn't hear you say. Go ahead.
No, I just messed around. You said John
didn't it come out that Frank Duke's like scammed that whole thing? Like that was all bullshit.
Frank Dukes is a complete
That's
fraud.
Soul too, man. That was a great movie.
Yeah, the movie was
Did it come out? It came out. It was a complete fraud.
Yeah, he's a complete fraud.
I think Frank Dukes made it up.
Yeah, all of the Kumite actually exists, but all of his
but he never won it.
And champions.
Yeah, they weren't gonna let no damn American in there, right? Or was he?
Well, he said that he was winning it from like 1977 to like 1980, right? Until the internet came around, you could lie about anything and nobody knew.
You couldn't get called out on it.
Absolutely. So this dude, all the way up until Google was invented, was telling people he was knocking people out in Japan at the Kumite.
I'm a black belt.
Exactly. Complete bullshit. I mean, he still got an executive producer credit on Bloodsport, so he's still getting checks every time they throw that up on TBS. But complete bullshit. Frank Dukes. I'm pretty sure.
Dukes, my man!
He's like a 70-year-old man right now, but any one of the five of us could whoop Frank Dukes' ass.
Yeah, let's say this.
He's a fraud.
I got a pretty good story. So this kid that used to work in a restaurant with me, he used to talk about how he did freaking, Taekwondo or one of these freaking, fancy things. And he used to, at the time I was training over at American Top Team. It was like my first year there. So I was just new to it, whatever. I was doing some boxing, Muay Thai. And so in the restaurant, though, he had, been telling everyone, oh, I'm a black belt in some like martial art nobody's even fucking heard of. And, he's basically like, no, I don't know. Me or like, for one, I was bigger than him anyway and stuff. Like, I would definitely destroy him. He didn't know how to grapple. But this lunatic, he was trying to get like attention. He was probably like 40 years old or mid to upper 30s. And we were all younger, like 24, 25. He starts telling everybody that he's got this fight coming up and that all these rich people, gamble on it. And it's at some warehouse. But none of us can go.
I remember that movie.
Bro, listen to this. This is great, dude. So he's saying that these rich guys come. Like, this is very disturbing to me because I know he's lying. And I'm like, what a sick bastard! What a sick bastard! So he's saying that he's going to this thing, and these rich people bet millions on him and all this stuff, right out of a movie. So he comes back in like the next after the weekend or whatever, and literally, I'm not a freaking idiot. This guy put a rug burn on the side of his cheek. A rug burn. It's a rug burn, 100%. He rubbed his face on the rug, and he's telling people that he got punched there. And I'm like, dude, a punch does not do that to this guy. I'm like telling everybody, I'm like, no, he didn't have a fight. Are you kidding? And like some people were almost buying it. And I'm like, so he said, yeah, the guy punched me, and then I did some fancy little like Van Damme spinning wheel kick. I kicked him, and he was knocked out, within the first 30 seconds. And everyone, I'm like, so okay, so where's like all your money? You said these millionaires were betting on it and stuff. Like, I mean, completely full of shit. I mean, the guy put a rug burn on his face. So there's so many sick little bastards out there that do stuff like that. It's insane. Even Joe Rogan was talking about a story where a guy that they knew was saying he was a black belt, and he started telling everyone he was a black belt, and then finally people started like calling him out and being like, yo, dude, this isn't cool. Like, we know you're not a black belt, like in jiu-jitsu. Like, you roll with somebody, you can tell if a guy's a black belt but like there's levels to it. they're like, dude, he's not even a blue belt. Like, he's nothing. So this guy ended up doing a fight. It got recorded. It's on TV, and Joe Rogan shows it, and he says that it was like a setup fight. He paid the other guy to like let him win.
Oh yeah,
yeah, you watched that fight. So that guy ended up murdering someone, by the way.
Whoa.
Murdering someone and going to jail. And it was like somebody that he was dating, and maybe it was like their husband or their ex-husband, and he killed the guy, and then he was driving around town in the guy's car after he had murdered him.
That's a power move.
I mean,
dude,
the guy's not using the car.
My only point is this. People that do that and they lie about certain things like that, there's like, have a little something wrong with them. They do weird shit like that. Like, you got to worry about people like that. That'll tell that extravagant of a lie.
The people twisted in the head, and then you got dudes like, all right, you guys
Chris
know the
H
name.
studies serial killers. Chris H knows all about the psyche of a serial killer and can explain and expound upon this.
Nice.
Kanefsky, I know you know the name of the person I'm trying to think of right now. Used to be a dude, now it's a chick, and fights as a chick.
Fallon Fox.
Yeah, something's
Fallon
wrong
Fox.
with you.
Joe Rogan hates that.
Well, here's one thing. That's actually a point
girl.
Rogan brought up too. If you're a 30-something-year-old man, right, and you decide at that age that you're going to switch to the female, that's your prerogative, whatever. But there, a lot of people think that what's the name again? Fallon whatever.
Fallon Fox.
Fallon Fox. That they switched because they couldn't cut it as a male fighter,
right?
And they let
me go punk on these little girls.
But the other thing is too is they have you have an innate want to actually punch
bone
women.
Structure, man.
No, I want to say you have to be a little twisted in the head. You want to fight women. That's basically what they want to do.
Yo, and not only that, she punked them out too, man. She would punk out all those little, and then they were like, "Okay, this ain't fair." She just
why are you
not telling them, right?
Was it post-op?
Yeah, like, I think it was post-op.
Yeah, it's full op training.
Yeah. Destroying chicks.
And they're letting people in the Olympics do that shit, right?
Man, that's weird. That's not a level playing field.
It's not. It's 100%.
It's true though, right? They were allowing it for like I think they may have stopped it now, but
I don't think it's a level playing field at all, man.
They use
testosterone. Period.
They used to say that about the German and the Russian women in the Winter Olympics. That half of them were dudes.
Doped up. Yeah, they would dope them up, man.
Well, they were saying half of them were dudes.
Really? Oh, it had the snip.
Look, if you take that much, if you take that much testosterone, you kind of are a dude at that point.
Yeah,
like
you become a man.
Hormonally speaking, yeah. I mean, it does things to your muscles. Your bones get harder. You get bigger, faster. The whole nine. It's really not
growth hormone. Oh God,
absolutely not. If that continues, there'll have to be another division, maybe. But there's such a small transgender, such a small percentage of the population, like 1.1% or something like that. Of the
How about you just make them? I know, but let's just make them make a decision. Listen, if you want to do the surgery, you want to do that shit, fine. But you're done with sports unless you're gonna keep playing with the, I'm totally against it. Like you can't. Imagine you have a daughter and then she's playing in high school and all of a sudden some dude decides he wants to just be a sick athlete and says I'm gonna be a female and then just like beats the living shit out of your daughter.
Yeah, that ain't
there's scholarships up for grabs. There's scholarships. There's a lot like. People have stuff to risk.
It's a complicated question. It's a really, really complicated question. The other thing is you don't see a lot of men, the other way around, women changing into men and trying to make professional sports because it's damn near impossible. So, I mean, there's a lot of things going on there.
Can they do the surgery that way? I don't think they can.
Yeah, they can.
Give them a penis. One.
Go ahead and hit the Google machine. You can watch
somebody find out. Can this be done?
Hold on one second.
Disgusting.
Watching the reflection of Mike's glasses real quick. We're veering way off right here. We got.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're going to talk about fights.
It is fun
though. Championship fights coming up here. So
Joel, you're the one that brought up Fallon Fox.
I did bring that up. Yeah, that's right. And I'm bringing it back. All right, so you got your boy Masvidal. Everybody seems to love Masvidal. He's fighting over here. But the Kamanu Usman, is that how you say his last name?
Yeah, he's a decision machine, man, but he's a good wrestler.
As a fringe fan, when you say good wrestler, that makes me think boring fight.
He is. He's a decision fighter, man. That's what he's going to do. Atenito will probably say this. He's going to put him up against the cage. That's what he's going to have to do. Masvidal is going to have to stick and fight on the outside a lot and then have his explosive moments to land a big shot to win that fight. But
Or he might do a running flying knee to the head.
I don't think that happens. I think Usman is way smarter than Askren as a fighter.
Yeah.
You know, Askren, he about got killed 3 times in the UFC and quit.
One thing I think we need to talk about is I was talking to Kanefsky the other night. Sometimes these big cards, these big matchups, they tend to be boring fights and turn into boring cards because the guys that get to that level, the guys that get to the championship level, they're on the top. They got the belt. They're making the big money. They don't want to give that up so quick, so they go into the cage and they kind of dance around. They try and feel the guy out, and they try not to lose. Where when they're on their way up, they're trying to make a name for themselves. They're trying to knock people out and be exciting and shit. They can just cut it loose.
The hunger.
Like throw caution to the wind.
Conor McGregor on the way up was dropping people left and right. Perfect example was Derek Lewis and Ngannou. 2 of the biggest fucking knockout artists in UFC history. They get together for what was supposed to be a fucking mega fight and somebody was going to die. And it was probably the most boring fight I've ever seen in my life.
It was. It was horrible. I think they landed under, like, together combined, it was under like 50 strikes.
Horrible. That was horrible.
And I know that the pundits will love that.
The fights
as a French fan, that's boring.
Tyron Woodley and Wonderboy. Horrible. Both of them. Boring as hell.
Well, we're talking about Woodley, though, or you're talking about Thompson. You know, Masvidal lost to that guy. You know, so Masvidal's beatable, man. And he's just got a good run recently is what it is, a new image.
He's on fire. Cuban Jesus.
But I really think he's going to get beat, man. And I think it's going to be a boring fight, just like Getz said. He's going to be in there conservative. Hey, one thing Usman is good at is imposing himself on people, you know. So he's going to go in there, pot a few shots.
He beat the hell out of Woodley.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he did.
He's a beast.
But Woodley's small compared to that guy, too, man. He roughed him up.
So who you
that
got?
guy's a beast. Usman's huge.
I mean, don't get it twisted, though. Masvidal will take his shots and try to knock that dude out. Like,
I think he's got to win, though.
Masvidal's not just going to fold up and try to wrestle him. Like, Masvidal's
no way. Look, as that fight goes, I mean, Masvidal's striking is extremely good. I mean, he knocked out Till, who's a really, really good striker. And all these – this is the one thing I'll say. A lot of people are looking at Jorge Masvidal's record, and, I mean, he's like – I don't know. He's at like 66%. I guess he's like, you know, maybe 20 and 10. There you go. Yeah. So, well, it's even more fights than I thought. It's like 50 fights or something.
48 total.
48. So all those losses that he's had, I mean, he's fought everybody. He doesn't get like easy fights. So all those losses, those are all learning experiences for him. So every one of those losses you learn something from. And at this given point, none of those losses matter. They made him the fighter he is now. And he's on a tear. His confidence is good. So going into this fight, you know, I just don't like it. Some people are like counting him out just because his record and Usman's, you know, like undefeated. But it's made him the fighter he is, and he's on a tear. And I think he's got a good shot as long as, you know, it's easier said than done. If he can keep Usman off him a little bit and turn it into a little bit of a brawl, he's going to win because his striking is very good. He's got good Muay Thai. He's got outstanding boxing.
Yeah. And Usman's not a good boxer anyways. You know, his last fight, he did get a knockout, but, I mean, that wasn't a – that was just the wrestlers canceling each other out is all that was.
He broke the dude's chin. It was more of a fight of attrition. Let's talk about this. Yeah. Let's talk about this because I don't like Usman, and Usman is boring. So if Masvidal wins this fight, what's the matchup to make for Masvidal as the champion?
Conor McGregor, man. That'll bring him back out, and it's a big fight for
Khabib. Khabib is pretty big for 155. Khabib could move up. If you're
thinking about what the UFC's wanting to do right now, they're all about cashing in. They don't have live gate at all, so they need a big rep. And they don't have stars right now. John Jones is putting up a fight.
And Conor McGregor versus Masvidal would be a fucking firefight.
Yo, and think about this. Cormier's done now. Cormier was a big star, so they're needing stars. And if you're wanting to make a star out of somebody, Masvidal wins, give him Conor, man.
Yeah.
And if he loses, if he loses, you can give him Covington. That's a ready-made story right there for either way, win or lose, he's going to be set up for big fights for a while, you know, to make a little bit of money.
He wants to fight Diaz again too. That's another big money fight for him.
And check this out. He could even fight Leon Edwards. He already punched that dude out the backstage.
So hit him with a 3-piece.
He's got like tons of fights.
So we got 7 minutes left. So let's run through the fights real quick. You were just talking about Usman and Masvidal. Kanefsky, you first there. Who's winning the fight and how? Is it what round? What
Usman, man, I think Usman's going to decision him. I hate to say it. I think if Masvidal is going to win, he's going to have to do it in the first 2 or 3 rounds. After that, Usman's just going to be too much, and he's going to wear him out. I hate Usman. I think he's boring, but he's good at what he does.
Mikey A, what's your prediction?
I'm going to say I don't hate Usman. He lives around here, and we could run into him. No, but I'm going with Jorge Masvidal. I'm going to say, I give Usman, if I was betting money, I'd say he was going to win. But you get odds if you bet on Jorge. I think it's 2-1 odds. So I'm going to say 3rd round TKO for Masvidal.
Ooh,
and I am biased because he's from American Top Team, so I am biased.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm going Masvidal, 2nd round KO.
Second round KO.
Leo
Yes.
Who you got?
I got Usman. I think that wrestling is just way too much.
Yeah.
We're split down the middle. I'm going to go with the South Florida man. I don't know anything, so I'm just going to go with Masvidal. I'm also going to hoping for a more entertaining fight, so maybe he tags Usman a couple times and Usman comes back and tries to throw some hands for him. They say we only got a few minutes left. We're going to run through the fights. We got the second co-main event. Alexander Volkanovski fighting against Max Holloway. We'll start with you again, Kanefsky. Who's got what round? Who's going to win?
Man, I really do think I don't think Holloway's going to be able to do it again, man. Holloway's going to be – he's had a lot of tough fights recently, and he fought a lot, and that guy's been active. So I think we've seen some of the best days we've seen. He's still going to have a few moments, but I think Volkanovski's going to win. I really do think Volkanovski's going to win that one. I think it's going to be a decision, though, again. I think he's
Kanefsky's setting us up for a long,
hey,
boring
listen, this is what me and Getz were talking about.
That's why he's going to St. Petersburg.
Yeah. Just in the interest of time, Mikey, who you got in the Volkanovski fight?
I'm going to go for Volkanovski again. I think he's too strong, too much power.
Good.
I'm going to go Holloway, too fast, too much experience in big title fights. He's fought bigger dudes recently, and that's the only reason he was losing, because he was fighting at a bigger weight. So now he comes back to 145 and shines.
He lost to this guy, though.
Is there anybody tougher than a Russian Australian?
Oh, my God.
Yep, period.
That's hard.
Good point.
It's hard to argue, man.
Good point.
Yeah.
That is very, very hard to argue. I will give it to the Russian Australian. The strawweight fight, does anybody care?
Yeah, Aldo and Jan.
Aldo's a
like
legend.
That's the bantamweight fight.
No, that's the bantamweight. I'm talking about the women, the strawweight.
Nah, nobody cares.
No, nobody cares.
That's the crazy one, though. Mama
Let's
Juna,
not even
whatever
talk
her name
about
is.
it. Nobody cares.
Maybe if we don't talk about it, it'll go away.
Paige Van Zandt, anybody care about that fight?
Nope.
All right, so we're going to the bantamweight. We got Peter Yan and Jose Aldo. Aldo's a name that I know. So,
Aldo the legend.
Aldo is.
You got 3 minutes. Have at it with that fight.
Man, I'm going to go with – I would really love to see Aldo win another title, and then afterwards get Cejudo to come out of retirement, man. That's a fight that would draw him out of retirement. That's what I'd like to see.
Did these two fight up before? Did they already fight?
No. Yan's just coming up. Yan's coming up.
So the thing about, like, Yan, he's tough, dude. He's a real tough dude. He just now wrecked shop against Uriah Faber, so –
Yeah, beat the hell out of him.
Yeah.
Hey, my gut wants to say Youth is probably going to win just because Aldo has been really inconsistent. He's like 3-5 in his last 8 fights. Yeah. So I mean, that's not a great record.
Really?
He's been fighting studs.
Is it really 3-5?
I would think your gut probably has a strong voice.
Yeah, I know because I'm a big dude. But hey, I'm going Peter Yan, man. Hey, Peter Yan's probably going to win that, but I'd like to see Aldo win that one.
Moving on. Yeah.
This is for the belt.
Now, you're saying a lot of likes and this and who's going to win the fight? Tell us.
Yan. I think Yan's going to get that. I think he's going to do it early too. 3. I think Aldo's a little bit fragile now compared to what he used to be.
This is Peter Yan.
I think
any relation to Martin Yan, the Chinese?
No, Yan can cook.
Yes, great show. Amazing.
If Yan can cook, so can
Conor
you.
McGregor just killed that dude, man. It's just Aldo's not been right ever since Conor McGregor, man.
I think the weight cut is too much for Aldo. He's not going to be the same.
So you taking Yan as well?
Yeah, I'll take the kid. Something else we got to talk about. The UFC just switched sponsors. Reebok out of there. What did you say it was? What did you say it was, Kanefsky? A company called Venom?
Venom.
What do they make?
That's the
they
new clothing sponsor.
I had a shirt. I had a Venom shirt once.
I remember those. It was like it looked like the Cobra logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had a shirt like that.
Yep. So Reebok's out in 2021.
How the hell does that company have enough money to be the only UFC sponsor? Like Reebok is a huge company.
If you look deep into it, you'll probably find somewhere along the way that Dana White owns Venom.
Yeah, right.
It's got to be something that way, because I mean that's a huge contract for a company that none of us have ever heard of.
It's probably easy to get backing. It's probably easy to get backing when you know. Look, we're gonna get the UFC contract. Okay, now we give you backing. Whoever's got the money, I don't know.
I got to be honest, man. I wish they would go back to the way it used to be, where everybody was like free for all. Everybody had their own sponsors, wore their own shit. Melvin Manhoof would come in the ring dressed like a fucking gladiator
with a dog collar.
Dan Hardy had the big fucking red shorts with all the samurai shit on it. That was dope.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. Well, we're about to run out of time here.
No!
You want to do another episode? Another segment if you guys want.
Whatever. I'm enjoying the conversation with you, gentlemen.
Well, Mikey, we'll bring you back. We'll bring you back another time. We actually last time we said we were going to do a post show, and we didn't do a post show.
Anytime, bro.
Post-fight show.
We should hit it up right away. We wait a post-fight up there.
I do want to talk about. Yes, we'll discuss stuff later.
We'll discuss it another time.
Nice meeting you guys.
All right, man.
See you again soon.
All right, guys.